Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. We will wait a few moments while everyone comes in and jumps into the webinar to join us today. Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for attending the new member Skal USA webinar for today on April 15th. We are delighted to have you with us. If you have any questions, please feel free to put those in the chat box, and we will get to those at the end of today's session. Next slide, Eric. My name is Morgan Marovich, and I am your Director of Membership for Skal USA, and I am one of your hosts, along with Mark Ergang, who you see in the other box next to me. He is the Opening General Manager of the Marriott New York JFK Airport, and he is the other Director of Membership for Skal USA, and he is a member of Skal Long Island, and I come from Skal, Washington, D.C. Next slide, Eric. We have a welcome message from our Skal USA president, Jim Dwyer, that we'll play here for a second. But all of you are on mute. If you have any questions or any issues, please feel free to put those in the chat box or question box. And thank you again for attending. And we will be right back with you after this welcome message from Jim.
Welcome to Skal. I'm Jim Dwyer, president of Skal USA. I want you to know that you are now part of a global Skal family of travel, tourism, and hospitality leaders. You have access to almost 13,000 members around the world who you can always count on. As a Skal member, you can attend a meeting wherever there's a Skal club, and currently there are 333 clubs in 99 countries. Whether it's dinner with colleagues at a local restaurant, or perhaps lunch with Skal Venice at a 500-year-old museum, you'll be welcomed. Speaking from personal experience, I always reach out to clubs when I travel, and have always been accepted as a fellow member and treated better than you can imagine. If your business is international, perhaps a Skal member can help you to find the right contacts. Here in the US, we have 45 clubs and meet at least once a year at a North American event attended by members from the US, Canada, and Mexico. And every year we have a World Congress where all the Skal clubs send a representative to network and enjoy our unique Skal camaraderie. I strongly encourage all members to attend either or both of these events if possible, and it will change your world for the better. So, enjoy this webinar and feel free to reach out to me or any other member. Skal.
All right, hi everyone. Again, Mark Ergang here. Pleasure to be here with you and welcome you to Skal. We're going to start with our mission. As you can see, it's through leadership, professionalism, and friendship. We'll work together to achieve our vision and maximize networking opportunities and support a responsible tourism industry. As you could tell, we are all about friendship and networking, and it's all about promoting the tourism industry. Next slide, Eric. So we have a very rich history, if you didn't know. It goes all the way back to the 1930s, where a group of travel agents, French travel agents, got together with some transport companies, and they were actually meeting about a new aircraft, and they actually were inspired, and through friendship and networking, they created the first club of Paris in 1932. So we go all the way back to the early 30s. Within 2 years, believe it or not, they had gotten up to 12 clubs, and they were across 5 countries. And again, it was all about friendship among tourism professionals. Again, that's what we're all about, doing business among friends. And then after later, they formed a partnership fostering goodwill, friendship among the travel and transport sectors all over the world. And finally, at a hotel in Paris later, they actually had their first General Assembly. There were over 20 delegates there representing 11 clubs. And they elected their first executive committee with the president being Florimond Volkart. And they created the Association Internationale des Skal Clubs, or the first association for Skal. So very, very exciting, and thus Skal was born. Eric, next slide. So now you could see that Skal today is actually the world's largest global network of tourism professionals promoting tourism, friendship, and business. So we have travel agents, we have hotel people, we have restaurant people, we have everyone related to tourism. So it's a great group of colleagues throughout the world. We have over 12,000 members across 333 clubs in over 99 different countries, as Jim, the president, mentioned earlier. Excuse me. We're headquartered in Spain, and we're very involved in organizations around the world. We're actually affiliated with the as a member of the World Tourism Organization. So we really believe in supporting sustainable, accessible tourism and adhering to the global code of ethics. We're very supportive of all of that. And as you can see, we're also in support of sustainable tourism, trying to eliminate poverty initiative. So we always, as a group, we focus on economic, social, and environmental factors throughout the world. So it really is a phenomenal organization. Next slide, Eric. You could see our Skal International board. I won't name every person, but you could see our president, William, and they were elected, every year at our World Congress, and you'll hear more about that. But those are the people who run Skal International, and we're very excited to have all of them leading the charge for Skal. Next slide. Benefits. Everyone, this is always the first question everyone asks after they, they're drawn in by the rich history of Skal. And you could see, networking is a huge part of Skal. You can call fellow colleagues all over the world for business, for friendship. When you travel, you can join in on another club's meeting for the month, and they welcome you with open arms. It's fantastic. You definitely have the opportunity to explore other cities, other clubs, other events that they put on, and some of the Skal clubs throughout the world put on some amazing events that we're really proud of. Again, you'll have some great experiences. Guest speakers, we have great guest speakers. We had a webinar yesterday, and we have them throughout the year. And we're very blessed that, among all these members, we have some phenomenal guest speakers who are willing to talk about tourism and some aspect of the industry. There's great opportunities to get involved in a specific club. I started out, as a secretary, a treasurer, eventually became the president of the Long Island, New York club. I know Morgan has been the president of her club, and every single person that's on the executive committee that for USA and for international Skal, has been in several leadership positions. So it's a great opportunity to put yourself in that position. Again, I read to you before some of the tourism initiatives we're involved in. And again, it's just a phenomenal community of friendship, support, and there's a lot of business opportunities as well. Next slide, Eric. So accessing the network. Basically, you would go to, skal.org, and you could see the for members is one of the tabs, and under there it gives you the entire database, you know, of all your fellow Skal-leagues. It gives you an overview, history of Skal, you know, the structure, who are the leaders of Skal International, you know, partners, affiliations. It's filled with so much information. There's also Skal awards that they talk about, sustainable tourism awards, you know, the Order of Skal Merit. We give an award to the Skal Club of the Year, and Skal League of the Year as well. It has the application for full members and for young Skal. Eric, let's go to the next slide. So again, you could see, you know, when you go on there, it's gonna show you all the different chapters, their websites. It allows you to know when other Skal clubs are having meetings, and who the key players are for all those clubs. It definitely will tell you what events are going on throughout the world, about our World Congress, which is held in a, you know, different country every year. And I'll talk more about that in a second. It tells you again, you know, what things are going on in all the individual clubs. It talks about you have access to a Skal magazine and a newsletter, which has the most updated information from Skal International. And then it also, for members, it allows you to have access to any document that you would ever need related to Skal, you know, membership form, benefits, and then it also gives you access to apply to the Florimond Volkart Fund, which is there to provide assistance to any Skal League and their family who are in serious need of assistance. And we also started a membership development fund this year to help fellow Skal Leagues who, you know, who were struggling during the, you know, obvious COVID crisis that that hit us. You want to go to the next slide, Eric? And then this is the World Congress, which is really amazing. I just joined the executive committee, so this year will be my first World Congress that I'll be attending, so I'm really excited. It's in a different country every year. You get to meet Skal-leagues from all over the world and learn new things, hear, you know, from great, you know, international guest speakers. You get to meet, you know, all the different clubs and different members of every club, and it's a great networking opportunity. This year, it's actually going to be in Quebec City. So I'm very excited to go to Canada. I haven't been there for a while. I've been to Quebec several times, but I haven't been there recently. So just super, super excited to go to this huge stage where all the Skal Leagues come together once a year. So I'm going to now pass it back to my partner, Morgan, who's going to tell you more specifically about Skal USA.
Thanks, Mark. And next slide, Eric. So Skal USA was actually founded, the Skal Club of New York was our first club in the USA. So it was established back around, well, I should say April 1st in 1938 was when the Skal Club of North America was founded. And then from there, the Skal Club of New York was established. We have 45 clubs across the US, if you were not aware, and we have over 1,500 members, 1,548. Next slide, Eric. This is a look at, similarly to the Skal International Board, this is a look at our Skal USA board, and we have many of them on the line with us today. Jim Dwyer, as you saw earlier, is the president of Skal USA. Holly Powers is a past president and is currently our international Skal counselor. Richard Sinta is our VP of admin. Art Ellis is our VP of finance. Pam Davis, our VP of PR and communication, and Tom Moulton is our VP of membership. We also have 2 auditors, and then Mark and myself as your directors of membership. And you can feel free to reach out to any of us at any time with any questions that you may have or any needs for your club. Next slide, please. So some benefits about a Skal USA. So Skal USA is a national committee underneath Skal International. So the benefits that you get through international, you also get a variety underneath the USA. So your digital membership cards, you get that through logging in under international. They used to be physical cards, so you definitely will want to make sure you're logging into the sites, checking your profiles, but also getting that digital membership card if you would like to have that accessible. One thing that the membership team, Tom, Mark, and myself have been working on this year is having a career center that will be launching here soon. That members will be able to take advantage of to post jobs, to look for jobs, and then also have additional resources for resume interviews and the like. We also have discounts through industry partnerships, one being UATP, that are available for Skal members, so be sure to check out any of those discounts. You should be receiving our newsletters that the fabulous Pam Davis does. So if you aren't receiving those, they may be going to your junk, so be sure to whitelist that email address, or just reach out to Pam and we can make sure that you start receiving those. If you haven't tuned into any of our webinars or our new Facebook Live series, please be sure to check those out. They're a great resource as well as a good thing for professional development, just to hear what's going on in the industry and certain industry segments. As Mark mentioned, we have our Skal World Congress that is on the international stage, but we also have our national one, which is called NASC, and then of course your local meetings at your local clubs. So if you haven't been to a NASC or a World Congress, please be sure to check out those details. It's a great way to meet Skal leagues nationally, but then World Congress internationally, and you can really see the power of the network via Skal. On the website of skalusa.org, you will find our club locator. So if you are traveling and going about and want to utilize those Skal connections, and all of us highly recommend you do, because you will get experiences and get to meet individuals that you never would have before, check out to see if there's a club in that location where you're going. So utilize that Skal locator. Mark already touched on the Floorman Volkart Fund. So most clubs participate and provide donations for that fund. So we truly appreciate that because it allows us to help others that are in need. And then be sure to connect with us on social media. We now are on YouTube, LinkedIn, and then we also have our Facebook and Instagram pages. So please be sure to check us out, and any other additional information you need is available on skalusa.org. Eric, next slide. So I wanted to being a new member, everyone's experience is different. So I wanted just to provide a testimonial from a new member that I personally have interacted with and actually joined in the middle of the pandemic. So has not actually been to an in-person meeting, but has already had a great Skal experience. So this is Jason Gemmel. He's the president and CEO of the American Resort and Development Association. He joined the DC Club right at the beginning of the pandemic. And this is his testimonial that he's given about joining Skal. So he said, joining Skal International is one of the best decisions I made over the past 6 months. The DC chapter has welcomed me with open arms, and I have made some great personal and business contacts in a very short period of time. I definitely recommend joining your local chapter if you're serious about your job in the travel industry. Jason has been a great addition to our DC club, fun, but also very knowledgeable and provides great information on what's going on in the industry. So we're delighted to have him. So if anyone is on the line and you're new and you have a testimony that you would like to share or a great experience, please feel free to put that in the question or chat box and share any experience that you've had as well. Eric, next slide. If you've been on an online virtual meeting, or if your club has had the opportunity of having an in-person meeting, you should be familiar with the Skal toast. It's how we begin each of those. So this is just the Skal toast so that you have it in case you don't know it. It's also available on the website, and hopefully your club has it on theirs as well. So you may just want to jot it down for future reference if you're not familiar with it already. Eric, next slide. And just want to say welcome. We are delighted to have you as part of Skal. You have a huge network at your fingertips, and we look forward to doing business with you as part of our new friends and network. So any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat box, and we are here to answer them. And I invite Jim to join us on camera.
There he is.
Here I am with my alien look.
You look great, Jim.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, again, if you have any questions about the presentation, about Skal in general, Skal USA, Skal International, let us know. Let us know now. Email us after the presentation. If you're interested to know more about the World Congress, we have all the information about that. Testimonials are always welcome. So do we have any chats, any questions coming in?
No questions coming in. We have a few thank yous for the presentation.
Great. I want to let you know, just the folks that are on here today, we have maybe half of the new members on today. If you hear from any of the other new members who aren't on, tell them that you got wonderful prizes for being on today.
And I would also like to invite Tom Moulton, our VP of Membership, to join us on camera. I believe he has a few words to share. Hi, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Let me turn off my mute and welcome Jim and Morgan and Mark. Great job introducing us all. We remember back to when we became members. I think maybe just a quick little comment about what does a Skal membership mean to you, Morgan, and to you, Mark, and to you, Jim. Let's start with Jim.
I can almost echo what Jason said in his testimonial. It added so much to me personally and professionally from day one. But even more, when I got involved nationally and internationally, it just opened up a whole world for me. And as a traveler, hopefully, you join the club because you enjoy tourism. That would make sense. But as a traveler, I always take advantage of a Skal member. I'll reach out, whether it be in Italy, Spain, Ireland, wherever. And right now I'm a travel agent and I do groups. If I have a group, I will contact someone in the country where my group is going, and they will always add something to your group if you're in that particular industry. Personally, as I said in my video, by the way, that was me 5 years from now in that video. It's just an amazing world, and I've been referring to it as the Skal family, and you'll get to know it that way if you get involved.
And if you want to hear Jim's full story, we have it recorded on Facebook. He gave a full interview of his Skal history and his stories. So definitely go on our Facebook page and check out Jim's interview. It was about a month ago. And he has some great stories that he shared. So definitely check it out.
Morgan, what's Skal meant to you?
So I joined Skal, and shortly thereafter, I was looking for a new job opportunity, and it was through my Scaleagues that I had my job at NTA that came upon me, and it was all through Skal. So when I was looking for a new opportunity and was in need, my Scaleagues came to my rescue, and I have to say that it's all about that network and the friendships that you build. So when we say doing business among friends, it really is. It is that. It's not necessarily. It can be, for example, what Jim's saying, where if you have a group and you're reaching out and connecting that way, or even if just you're traveling personal wise, but even if you're in looking for a job, or if you need, like, for example, just professional development help or anything like that, the network and the advice and the assistance is far and wide. So I'd say that being a member of Skal, you can utilize it in a variety of different ways. So and it's also credibility, right? So for years, Skal has been around for many, many years, and when you look at the diversity of it, and it globally, it's very, very helpful. So we've had a few comments come in. John Duggan from Skal Halifax says, thank you for the webinar. Stu says, it's funny, Stu says, being a Skal member gives you street cred in the tourism industry. Very true. Yep. And then I'm sorry, I'm going to mess up this name. Bargavi. I hope I said that right. They say, I joined Skal in January. Congratulations and welcome. We are delighted that you are a member. And I'm very glad to have done so. I knew about Skal from before. It's wonderful hearing from Jim and Robert, two fantastic people, and others around the dinner table in person, and learn from them. Thank you so much, Skal. Great combat. Thank you so much. So Mark, on to you.
Yeah, so I was I'm also the president of the Long Island Hospitality Association, and someone from my association who was actually one of the former presidents of Skal Long Island invited me to a dinner, and I didn't really know a lot about Skal. I had heard about it but didn't know a lot about it, and went to the dinner, and before I knew it, I was, networking with everyone and having a great time. And I could tell right away this was something I wanted to be a part of. So I joined that night, and then little did I know, but I started exchanging business cards with people, and they found out that I ran, a hotel. And wouldn't you know it, within a week, I hired someone from the event. So it was great for me, great for the other colleague. It was a young Skal who had just graduated from college. So I reaped the benefits very quickly, finding some great talent. And then to talk about how it's affected me, even internationally, my daughter was studying abroad in Florence, Italy, and I reached out to someone from the Italy club, and they actually responded to me, and they had given me some great insights into Florence and things to do and all that. So I wasn't able to connect with them at a meeting, but it was amazing how welcoming they were to me. I mean, I never even talked to them, and all of a sudden they're sharing all these great suggestions and recommendations. And it's, like Jim and Morgan and Tom said, I mean, everyone that's on this call has really become an extension of my family. I talk to Morgan more than I talk to my wife. So, it's crazy, but no, it's really a phenomenal organization. I'm blessed to be a part of it. And I welcome all the new colleagues that are on the call today.
Yeah, Gabriel from Skal Miami is a new member that just chimed in, and so they're a new member, and they just hosted the first Skal event this past Tuesday. So congratulations and welcome. We are delighted to hear that news.
Good news.
Fantastic. Good news. Congratulations. Yeah,
Christina as well from Skal Tampa Bay says this club has been so fantastic, especially during the pandemic. Thank you so much. I'll be honest, that makes my heart warm because I know we've been really trying so much through this pandemic. And she says, never missing a meeting, virtual when needed, but back in person pretty quickly, which that's fantastic to hear about your club, and is now working hard to facilitate the rebound taking place here in Florida. Thank you all for all of your leadership. That is fantastic to hear about the Tampa club. Thank you so much, Christina, and I'm delighted to hear that Tampa is already back to facilitating back in person. I will say there's a question about the webinars. So the webinar it is recorded. It will be available online on our YouTube channel, and any of our past webinars. So when I mentioned the webinar series and the Facebook series, all are recorded and all are available on our YouTube channel. So when you go to the Skal USA website, you can click on the YouTube link, or you can just find Skal USA International on YouTube. So all of them are available there. Very quick and easy.
Morgan, if I just could add just one thing about if hopefully everyone, and maybe not because of the pandemic, but if you haven't received your Skal pin, please contact your president or your membership or your secretary or somebody in your club, because wear that pin proud, because it not only lets everybody know that you're a Skal member wherever you go, but it really is a great conversational piece if you go to a trade show or you go to mixers, which are actually starting. We went to our first convention center meeting with 145 people. They actually only guaranteed 110, so they ran out of food. Not a good choice to happen for a new hotel, a new convention center, but you know what? The pin-up demand is alive and well for people to get out and see their friends, especially all of you new members that are making new friends. So welcome. I know it's been very difficult to become a new member because the greatest benefit is seeing your friends face to face. So it's all coming back. Back to you, Mark.
Yeah, I just want to say a few things. What Tom just said about wearing your skull pin. I think we all have stories about going somewhere and someone asking you about Skull, whether it be in the U.S. or abroad somewhere. I made it my mission this year to never have to hear the words, "What is Skull?" at a travel event again. So it's all we have to play our part. Wear your skull pin. If you have a badge, wear your badge. If you can, if your company allows it, if you own your own company, put that skull logo on your signature. Anything. It helps, and it shows that you're part of this great organization. Morgan.
Absolutely. Those are some great tips and tricks. And I know that if you're, for example, if you are going to a trade show, and if sometimes we do have Skal representation there, so definitely see. Yep, Tom grabbed exactly what I was getting to. We do have Skal member badge labels, so you can reach out and we can try to. We have those, so let us know. We can get you those, or we may be on site with them as well. So definitely just reach out and let us know. So Tom, you read my mind.
Eric, I think Eric, you still have some of these. If not, let me know. But I tell you what, in addition to your badge, as Jim mentioned, they have this on your name tag, right underneath tags. But I always get a chance. I stick one of these in the car and I stick on there. And I have to tell you, we had a transferee from Tampa, from the Renaissance, come to be a GM at JW Marriott. And it was one of our members attending a trade show that happened to be at the JW. And for some reason, we lost sight of who the new GM was. And he came to the next meeting and obviously rejoined our club. And for 7 years, he was probably one of our best members until he retired and went off to some other land. But what a great way to let people know, that you're a Skal member wherever you are, whatever your mission, your trade show, or whatever it is, wear your pin.
Mm-hmm.
So any last insights, Jim, Tom, Mark, anyone?
No, just make sure you watch our webinars, network locally, nationally, reach out, don't isolate yourself. I think one of the biggest problems we've had in Skal over the years is that clubs and individuals isolate themselves and don't look at the broader picture. So keep that in mind. That's why we're doing these new member webinars. So you'll see that it's the world of Skal and not just one little tiny piece of Skal. So do that.
And I would say definitely let us know if, for example, if you're having anything virtual or doing an event, we're happy to promote any of the events that you have via our social channels. Jim has been invited to many of the virtual events as well as various other board members. So we are happy to support you in any of your efforts. So again, let us know, have us involved, and we want to show the diversity that we have going on across the different clubs. And of course, I think we've shared many ideas. So think regionally, other clubs that you can partner with, a variety of different things. So all I can say is keep up the great work. It's great to hear the different club updates that we've had. I saw Keith just wrote in saying, thank you so much for the energy this year. Your leadership is showing. Thank you, Keith. We truly appreciate the comments. John says, we hope to see all of you at the World Congress in Quebec City. I think we're planning on that. So I know we're looking forward to Quebec. Bargavi has asked, why don't we have suppliers from other countries which are opening up to have webinars? Absolutely. We can definitely invite other countries and look at partnering webinar wise. That's a great idea. So we definitely will take that into consideration. Thank you so much for submitting that. It's a great idea. And you can also, for your club, you could look at hosting like a virtual event with other clubs too. Say if you have like a twin club, that is another idea as well. So if your particular club is twin with another country, definitely invite them to do a mutual event. So for example, I know Karen in Miami had some of the Skal leagues from Australia do like a happy hour and cocktail hour. So definitely look at different ideas like that. It's a good way of incorporating other countries in with some of the virtual events that your club's doing as well. So I will close it up by just saying, please check our YouTube channel for any additional professional development, any webinars that you may have missed or that you'd like to catch up on. Always try to log in to Skal USA or Skal International and keep your profiles up to date, particularly if you have any informational changes. And then also, if you aren't receiving our newsletter, just let us know, and we'll make sure that we get you connected so that you do receive those updates and what's going on. Those are probably the top hits. But again, reach out to any of us at any time. Thank you again for joining us, and we will be doing more of these. Thank you for joining Skal and for choosing Skal to be part of your professional journey. We're glad that you've chosen this network, and we look forward to doing business amongst friends. Any final words, Jim?
No, again, you said it all. Again, thanks for everybody who came on and just absorb these words of wisdom, and hope to see you personally at some point during the year.
Excellent. Thank you, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Take care.